everybody, it's Caroline from Caroline's Veggies. I'm here in the barn in our chicken coop, and I just wanted to talk about where can you get chickens. These are some of the things I thought about the other day. So when I was interested in chickens, I really wasn't sure where to start. So I just want to give you some quick options where you can get your own flock of chickens. So this is Pearl. She's a white leghorn. And this is a great breed if you're interested in lots and lots of white eggs. She's a production breed. I also have one Calico Princess that is a Czech Republic hybrid for production. They lay large brown eggs. And I have Isa Browns, which are a French breed, and they are also bred for production. It's a hybrid for large brown eggs. And I have Golden Comets, which are from the States, and those are also bred for brown eggs and a lot of production. So most of the eggs that you're going to get in the grocery store are going to be white eggs or brown eggs, and those are going to be from the breeds I just mentioned. There are tons and tons of different breeds of chickens, anywhere from exotic Polishes to silver-laced Wyandottes. You have your heritage breeds, which many people are trying to revive, like your Buckeye from Ohio, your Rhode Island Red, and those breeds I really was interested in getting, but it just didn't happen that way. And so instead I got the production breeds, which I'm really happy with. They have great personalities. So let me just talk about where to get your chickens. I just wrote some notes down just so I wouldn't forget. But the number one place to get chickens is going to be your large-scale hatcheries. Now that's going to be like your Hoover's Hatchery in Rudd, Iowa, your Cackle Hatchery, your Murray McMurray Hatchery in Missouri. There's My Pet Chicken you can go on, which was founded by two ladies. So I've heard good things about them. What else can you go? Let's see, there's Ideal Poultry. There's tons and tons of different hatcheries. So if you look online, you'll sure to find something and breeds that interest you. So the positives of the large-scale hatcheries are going to be they usually have great websites with awesome photos. They have little blurbs on each breed so you can see what you're getting, and that's a great thing. They also are going to have tons of different choices where your backyard breeders might not have all those choices. You're also going to have a choice of straight-run chicks, which means they will not be sexed. So you might, want to take a gamble. Let's say you have a lot of acreage and you don't care if you have a couple roosters, then that's a great place. Or you can buy sex chickens from large-scale hatcheries. Now, your hybrids, like the ones that I have, they come sexed. They've bred them for that. So the females will be redder in color and the males will be more white, so it's easily distinguishable. But the other breeds like Welsumers or Barred Rocks, your Rhode Island Reds, you're going to need, or your Silkies, you're going to need a professional to actually ascertain whether or not it's a male or a female. So basically they're going to stare at the butt or the vent of the chicks and all day long and try and decipher what is what. And they get paid a hefty sum, sometimes $2,000 a day. So only large-scale hatcheries will be able to afford to hire these people, not your backyard farmer or your person who's really passionate about the breed that only breeds maybe a couple times a year. Also, these facilities, these large-scale hatcheries, they don't breed, they buy eggs from people, from large-scale farmers that are inspected by the government. They're inspected by the government, and so you're hoping that you're going to get chicks that have less health problems. So, for example, avian flu or any other poultry diseases are not going to be passed on to the chicks that you're ordering. They're reasonably priced because it's such a large facility. They're selling so many chicks, they can afford to charge less for their chicks than maybe someone who's doing it for just a little bit of profit and hoping to at least break even. And they're delivered right to your local post office. So just because Murray McMurray is in Webster, Missouri, doesn't mean that you have to drive all the way to Missouri. I'm sure you could, but they will mail you the chicks in a box. But there's usually a minimum amount that you can order because the chicks have to be warm, and also there's a chance that you might get a chick that might be dead. So that's one of the cons of the large scale factories. So if you're going to the post office with your kids and they want to open up the box with all your chicks you ordered, you might want to check out first to make sure none of them passed away during the shipping of the chicks to the post office from whatever state you get them from. Another con is that because they're such a large scale place, a lot of people think that or feel that they're breeding quantity, not quality. So maybe your chicken person down the street who's really into silky breed is going to make sure that all her chicks are don't have a lot of defects or a lot of health problems, whereas maybe a large scale hatchery doesn't really care or isn't really is interested. It's not that they don't care, but they're working with so many chicks, sometimes these things get overlooked. Another negative, like I said, is that you'll have to order a minimum number of chicks. It's usually how these large-scale hatcheries work. The only place that I've seen that you don't have to order a minimum number of chicks is Murray McMurray hatchery. So that is a problem. Let's say you only want 10 chicks and you have to order a minimum of 25. But if you put your heads, with other people, you can join those backyard chicken forums, and a lot of times there'll be someone that wants to split something, so you guys can talk, figure out what breeds you want, and then you can pick them up at the post office and then call her when you get into town and then arrange that to divide the flock so she gets half. Another choice is a backyard breeder. And so that can be a very good choice. There's a couple people that I know of in our area in Lake Villa that breed chickens, and they just don't focus on one breed. They actually do a bunch of different breeds, and I know that they really care about their chickens and their health. So the pros of that is you can usually visit their facility and see what kind of birds they have, and what the condition is, what they look like. You can see what kind of food they've been feeding it, and she can probably, or he can give you a tour of the facility. Like I said, they're going to be really into their breeds, so they're going to be very knowledgeable and hopefully breeding for quality, not quantity. And another pro, but a con would be that you might have to pay a little bit more for your chick, but you're not going to have to pay that much more. It's only going to be maybe a minimum or a maximum of $8, unless you're going for these very rare exotic breeds like the IM Samanis from Indonesia that are all black and have black feet and black beaks and black skin, and those can command a price of like $100. But most people, if you're just looking for regular American heritage breeds or your hybrids, you want to get down? Okay, Pearl. Those are going to be reasonably priced, like I said, $10. Another option to get your chicks is going to be a local feed store. For example, like what my husband and I did. We went to Tractor Supply in Wakanda, and we just stopped in and we wanted to get chicks. They had about 4 or 5 different varieties. They had the meat birds, if you're interested in raising meats, the Cornish crosses. Sorry, it's a little hot in here. They have the breeds that we got, the Leghorns, the Calico Princesses, that's a new one, and they work exclusively with large-scale hatcheries. So you're probably thinking, well, why not just get them from a hatchery? Well, the benefits of getting them from the feed store is that you don't have to order a minimum. You could pick 1 chick, you could pick 5, although I don't recommend just getting 1 chick. They always need a buddy. They're flock animals. But that's a great thing. The downside to the feed stores is that you're only going to have a select type of breeds that you can get. So there was only 4 or 5 choices on the floor which we could choose from. But that was okay because I'm really happy with these breeds. I wanted breeds that were going to be heavy layers because I'm hoping to sell the eggs. Also, there's more room for error. Now you're probably wondering, what does that mean? Well, you're in a store. A little kid goes to pick up a chick. His mom sees, what are you doing? Put that back. And he puts it down in the wrong brooder. So maybe he just picked up a Calico Princess chick and put it in the ISA brown bin. They all look the same. They're all brown, so, or yellow. So there's more room for error, or maybe the cashier that opened the store that morning at Tractor Supply or, you know, Farm and Fleet, she put the wrong chicks in the wrong bin by mistake. You know, we're all human, there's room for error. So that would be the only negatives to getting your chicks from a farm store, a Tractor Supply, or your local co-op. The last one I want to talk about is rent-a-coop. Yes, there really is a thing where you can rent chickens, and I think this is the best idea, because not only do you have a non-commitment type thing where if you don't like him, you can give him back. For example, maybe your kids are promising to take care of them, and then it turns out that mom and dad are the, you know, caretakers of the chickens. I think that's a great idea, because then you can see if you like it. So usually how these things work, I actually know a girl, her name is Carrie Gaburik, and she lives in Lake County, Illinois, and she does this. She comes to your house with a small flock of chickens, maybe like 3 or 4, and they're usually going to be your more friendly birds, like your hybrids that I have, that are more bred for docile family pets and large egg production. And she's going to bring the chickens to your house with the coop. I mean, how cool is that? And all she has to do is set it up in your backyard, and you might, you know, want to help her do that. And then it's a month-by-month rental fee. And so if you really like it, and it seems, you know, you're getting a lot out of it, it's a lot of fulfillment, they're great pets, then you can end up purchasing that flock for your very own, and the coop and whatnot. So I think that's a great idea. The only con is that you don't, you know, see these hens raised. You don't see them from chick, you know, to pull it to hen. So if you want it, you're kind of missing out on the puppy stage. But, you know, chicks are a lot of work. So I think that's great that you can just buy these hens. Another con is you're not going to be able to pick the breeds you want. So if you're looking for more exotic breeds, you might not be able to have that choice. You might just get, you know, what that rental coop place has. You can't always purchase the flock, which I've really only heard that happening a couple times. Usually they'll allow you to purchase the flock. So I think rental cooping, or doing the rent-a-coop, is a great idea for families that aren't sure if they want to commit, because your backyard hens could live up to 10 years. In fact, our neighbors just passed away, the last chick, and she was 10 years old. So they can live a long time. So, you know, just like a cat or a dog, unless you're interested in culling them when they're done with their, you know, prime egg laying years, even though they'll still continue to lay up until they're that old, they just won't do it as much. So a lot of people do choose to do that. I don't think I could do that because they become pets to us. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys some quick ideas where you can get chicks if you are, you know, kind of confused. But your internet is the best bet. I really like this book I'm reading right now, My Pet Chicken. It's by the 2 girls that came up with the website of selling chicks. They have great information. Murray McMurray has a great book on raising chickens, and you can't go wrong with anything by Gail Damerow. She's the leading chicken expert of the United States. She's written a lot of books on backyard flocks and other backyard barn animals and raising them. So I hope this helped you a lot, and like I said, I'm really excited about my flock, and I hope you guys are excited about getting your new flock. So thanks again, guys, and take care. Happy gardening!